Now that the club is enjoying its newest member, the main question I ask is, are they going to actually be able to keep her, and without losing anyone else in the process? Of course, if that was to happen, I don't think I'd ever be able to smile again. They'll be lost forever. But if listening to music is your thing, you may be in the wrong place, because as we've established, the Light Music Club is essentially for tea and cakes. If that's alright with you, let's carry on. Another scorcher of a day, apparently. Not many of them around here. So, because she's in her same in the same class and a member of a club along with her sister, of course they're going to become good friends. It's becoming a yearly tradition at this point. Don't get your hopes up. Really had to force them to practice in the end, didn't they? What's your definition of fine? You know, if she really, really lowers her standards, then maybe they'll live up to them. That's how I've gotten through life. Is it going to be the same as the training camp last time, though? As long as there's no more mention of barnacles, leaving Mia into a sobbing mess. I do like how they have slowly inserted Azunyan there. It's almost as if she had always been in the intros. But still, since she's not completely integrated yet, or if she actually disappears again, don't want to fully put her in there. Do you want an honest answer? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. I think you're missing the point. She doesn't handle heat and she doesn't like air conditioning. Yeah, that's a bad combination. You're spoiling her too much. I think you're actually seeing it the same, but what you're getting out of it is completely different. That's a bit tough. Danger! It lurks around every corner. And sometimes behind you in a fast food restaurant. Is he dumb? That's what she had guessed. Why are you acknowledging the little Face bubbles. I'm guessing you're making presumptions, although they are probably correct. Does she have a direct line? Hello? Sebastian. I was probably about 70% correct if I just guessed the name of Sebastian, didn't I? Wasn't I? And she is overseas! There should be a limit to how perceptive you can be. But it didn't take much persuasion. Has she completely sprawled out? Yep. Yeah. Britain doesn't really get that hot. But I feel like when it does, I don't complain as much as some people I know. But it does make you want to be incredibly lazy. And more so than usual, is usually dangerous. Oh, now you're interested. Is she going to somehow weasel her way in anyway? Like what she did with the Christmas party. Only about 75%. And then 15% of the time they're going to be asleep. So this is now the, what, fourth largest one? It must be quite freeing to have so much stuff under your name, I guess. Even though it's her family name. You've been outvoted. Nice Titanic. It begins. Wow. Whoever plans out her day for her is very enthusiastic. Oh, now you've done it. But is Mugi wanting to live her life out vicariously through them playing? Don't remind her. You've opened up old battle wounds. That's... Oh, she's still running. How long is she going to be affected for? It's too late for her. Quite a bit of driftwood. Yes, you were washed to sea. Somehow the worst two that I would want on a deserted island. They're gonna die, aren't they? Has everyone ever done the whole we've been shipwrecked imagination playtime type thing? Yep, as a bit of reward for... She turns easily. Is she part vampire? I don't go out in the sun, so I don't know how easily I tan. I think I don't. I know it's more like I just burn. It is a bit difficult for her to bring drum set everywhere. She's never used a tuner, has she? By ear, of course, she is stupidly great like that. It's a tough one, deciding when not to congratulate her on stuff. Really? You don't let us in on the practice? Quick, someone feed us some cake and tea. Maybe if I start rewarding myself for actually getting editing and stuff done, it would be more efficient. Somehow they all just kind of click. Just take a big bite. Onions? Now, I know some people are affected by onions, but not to that kind of extent. And it's also worse if you have a blunt knife. Bit of a disparity on that. Just add that up on the list of things Mio has to worry about. She looks like she's enjoying herself, though, despite them not focusing on music. You can do it. And dead. Yeah, it will definitely work harder. I feel like I'd prefer close range fireworks than that than the big ones in the sky, because it feels like a bit more interactive. Hanabi man. What a superhero. She doesn't want to be reminded. It's not like she spent 4 hours on the run earlier. Setting the right atmosphere with that backing track. Is the whole thing of just tests of courage just walk through the forest when it's dark? Has she really gone above and... I was going to say above and beyond with the costume this time, rather than just some... That's the teacher, isn't it? Just some seaweed. You got a glimpse of her glasses. How long has she been wandering around out here? Why not just follow the path? It's too late. Just make a grave for her. She's still waiting for that prank. Okay. Well, on sunburn and whatnot. That reminds me of when my brother got really, really, really sunburnt. That was fun. Of course, quite painful for him. Really? How bad is her eyesight? Bad touch. Some say that that building is still haunted. If you go into the baths alone. Thanks for that. Somehow I'm not surprised by her sleep talking. Or by the discussion. Or the topic. Is her opinion of them going to be amped up by the fact actually wanting to practice now? But when she's with everyone, she just wants to have fun. Are you going to get the hang of it now that she's shown you? Not quite. Go slow, slowly ramp up the speed until you're good. She'll get used to it. Didn't take long. Careful, still sunburnt, remember. I don't... You see, I'd be quite happy with the fact that, I helped them out and made them able to play this, but god damn, they're picking it up too fast. Oh, it's a Gyaru. But she enjoyed it though, didn't she? Did she not take any sun cream or sunblock? Is that how that works? Is it the more energy you exert, the quicker you suntan? Is Ritsu going to be sitting behind them once again, though? Look around before you answer this one. Is this still going to be avoiding the answer? Or question? She was actually practicing. It really surprised me. Some, great memories were made, was it? Some would say she's a bit too enthusiastic. I think so far K-On! Has about the right mix of what you'd expect from like a KN show, but it's a perfect balance. Any more music than this, and I'd feel slightly alienated because that's not a genre or thing I really care much about. But with what it has so far, it's been quite enjoyable. And I'm also anticipating the high effort elements like these in the future. And while it is amusing to see the teacher getting a bit of a comeuppance, you also feel a little sorry for her. Yes. It's become like that in a year. What was that story that Azunyan was about to say about the boy who cut his foot on a barnacle? I feel like that's some sort of old folk tale or something. And when it comes to practicing playing your instruments and whatnot, I feel like I'm slightly conflicted in what my opinion is, because personally I'd want to try and practice alone as much as I can. Oh, I spilt water everywhere again. Anyway, practice alone as much as I can, but at the same time I'd lose focus immediately and not really know where I'm going wrong or have anyone to help me. But if I was with a group, then almost certainly I'd lose confidence in myself and start having some very bad thoughts because everyone would be so much better. Like, is this really for me? Should I just give up? Unfortunately, I did actually go through that phase because, well, as I said, I used to play bass only from the time of actually starting to play bass to getting to that stage was the space of a couple of months, whereas everyone else had at least been learning for a couple of years. So maybe I shouldn't have judged myself so harshly. But if you've enjoyed K-On!, and honestly there's quite a lot to enjoy about it, and sometimes having a slow progression and nothing really pushing the plot along, just the characters, is nice. It's refreshing. So, if you agree, leave a like down below, maybe even a comment. But, if you want to make sure to not miss out in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll still be here and waiting, keeping out of the sun. But get some rest. See you in the next one. If you're expecting the kind of place where things get done and actually progress, then you've obviously come to the wrong channel. Because much like we saw here today, all intelligent conversation gets thrown out of the window when it comes to me. So, I need to thank my patrons because Sal, Raywind, Denwick1997, Shiwan, Stinsfire, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else are the enthusiastic yet stern voices that make sure that I actually get up and do something every once in a while. So thank you.